So for sample problem 3.11, we have a square foundation mat supports the four columns shown. Determine the magnitude and the point of application of the resultant of the four loads. So we have here four loads applied at different points. Say this is our force 1, our force 2 here, this is our force 3, and lastly, this is our force 4. So what he wants here is we need to find the magnitude of a force and the position of a force where if we apply that force to that point, the static condition of that single force would be equal to the four loads applied at different points. So what we want to know here is its location from our origin. No? So where would we apply that force and what would be the magnitude of that force? Location, that would mean the distance along x and along z here. X and z only because we don't have any components along y. So we have our x and z here. Okay, so what we do here is step 1, we need to transform this system into a force couple located at point O. No? So this force couple has components along x and y and z. But looking here, along our x-axis here, force 3, the 8 kips force and the 20 kip force here would tend to rotate our foundation, our square foundation on our x-axis, no? And these forces 20, 8, and 12 would somehow create a moment along our z-axis. And these forces here can't rotate our square foundation along y-axis. That's why here we don't have any rotation along y-axis, only along x and along z. Okay, so the first step that we will be doing here is to create a force couple, an equivalent force couple located at point O. And after that, having known the magnitude of our force couple at point O, we will then transform this force couple into a single force located at xz, since the location of this force here is unknown. So xz. Okay? So ayan. So for our first step, in order to transform these forces into a force couple, the formula that we need to fill is the summation force couple. Now we have our R as summation of all forces and our moment at point O as the summation of R cross F pivoted at point O. So what we need here are all the moment arm and all the forces. So it's better to create a table for this kind of problem. Now, if we have here our table, so we may write all the forces here. We have F1, F2, F3, and F4. So the forces for F1 we have 40 and it's directed towards the negative J, no? So we have negative 40 J. For our F2 we have negative 12 J. Our F3 as negative 8 J, and lastly F4 we have negative 20 J. How about R, the moment arm? So the moment arm for 1, since it's located at the origin and that is where our pivot point also is located, so our moment arm would be 0. How about F2? So our F2 is located on our x-axis, so it has no components along y and along z. So we only have this distance here. That would be 4 plus 6, that is 10. And it's positive. So we have 10i. How about F3? So our F3 here, this one, from the origin going to that direction. So in order to go from point O to this point here, we need to go 10 units from the x-axis and 5 units along the z-axis. So we have here 10i plus 5j. And then lastly, we have for F4. So that would be 4 units along the x-axis, and this distance we have 5 plus 5, we have 10 units along the z-axis. So we have 4i plus 10k. This would be k, not j. K. So therefore, if we get the R cross F To get all the moments here, we have 0 times 40, we have 0. I cross j, we have positive k times negative, we have negative 12 times 10, 120 k. How about this one? I cross j is positive k times negative, we have negative 80 k. And for this, we have k cross j. K cross j, we have negative I times negative, we have positive. So positive 5 times 8, we have 40 k. And lastly, we have j cross I cross j. That is positive k times negative, we have negative 20 times 4, we have 80 k. And k cross j, that is negative I times negative, we have positive I. And then 20 times 10, we have 200 I. So if we total this here, that would be our MO. And that MO is, we only have I here, so this would be, no, this one here, this should be I. Wait, we have A cross J, we have A cross J, we have negative I times negative, we have positive. Then 8 positive I, this should be positive I. Ayan. So we have here 40I plus 200I, we have 240I. How about K? Negative 120 plus negative 80 plus negative 80, we have 280 negative. Okay. And then for the summation of forces, that will mean that will be our force R. So this one here, our R, summing this all up, that is equal to negative 40 minus 12, 52 plus 8, 60. 60 plus 20, we have 80. So we have negative 80 J. So ayan. Now, knowing that the force here is negative 80 J and the couple is 240 I minus 280 K, the next step that we'll be going to do here is to transfer this force here, this force and this couple from point O going to this point here. We know that if our couple is a free vector, so if we transfer from point O to this point here, no additional couple shall be added. Okay? But no additional couple. If our couple is this one, MO, we have 240I minus 280K. Ayan, no additional couple shall be added if we transfer a couple. Because knowing that couple is a free vector, pwede natin yung transfer. And now, we have our force here. If we transfer a force from point O going to this direction, as long as our force is not along the line of action, a couple should be added. So, another moment should be added, no? So, that moment here is equivalent to R cross F pivoted at the new point here. So, point is one, say point C. C. And since what we want here is a system wherein force lang yung nag-exist at walang couple, therefore, adding the couple and the additional moment should be equal to 0 in order for the new system to have only a force and no couple at that point. Okay, now if we try to expand this one, we have here 240I minus 280K plus our R. What would be our R? So our R here is from pivot point going to this direction here. So we have here the direction of xi should be reversed because we're going from point C to point O here. So we have here negative xi, and also for the z, that should be reversed. We have negative z a. Cross f, what would be our f? F here is negative 80j. So negative 80j. That is equal to 0. We have 240i minus 280k. So I, negative times negative, we have positive. And then I cross j is positive k. So we have here positive 80x k. And how about k cross j? K cross j is negative I. And negative times negative, we have positive 80 z I. That should be equal to 0. So combined like terms, we have for I, we have 240 plus 80z parenthesis I, and then we have for k, we have this one, so plus 80x minus 280k, that is equal to 0. Now take note that the 0 here can also be written in terms of 0i plus 0k. So in order for this expression on the left side be equal to the expression on the right side, this term here should be equal to this term, and this term here should be equal to 0 here. Okay, so if we try to solve for this one, we have 240 plus 80 should be equal, 80z should be equal to 0. So therefore 80z is equal to negative 240. Divide both sides by 80, we have our z equal to negative 3 feet. Okay, and how about x? So we have 80x minus 280, that is equal to 0. So we have 80x is equal to 280, cancel, we have 80. Our x here, that is equal to 3.5 feet. This one here should be negative. We have negative times negative, positive, and then k cross j is negative I, so this should be negative. Ayan. So therefore, this should be negative, and this one here is negative, and this one here should be positive. So we have positive 3 feet. Okay.